Welcome to Petco Park in San Diego, where it's superhero night. They're everywhere at the ballpark tonight. It's also game 2 of a 4-game series between the San Francisco Giants and the San Diego Padres. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres Baseball. Superhero night tonight, and talking about superheroes, kind of a super play last night by Austin Hedges. People are still talking about today.
He can leap buildings in a single bound, and I think if you rip off that jersey on Austin Hedges, he's got an S underneath there. What does the catcher do? So much going on. First and third popped up. Get rid of the mask. Dive! Where's the cape? From his backside. Throws a strike to first base. That is a double play. In the Padres' eyes, the Padres fans' eyes, that is a superhero flying all over the diamond, Austin Hedges. He's going to save the world. Remember, Superman changed the rotation of the earth? Austin Hedges can do that. If he wanted to, he can change the rotation of the earth. He's that good.
Well, today in news and notes, bad news about Dinelson Lamet. He will need Tommy John surgery, so that's a tough note for the Padres. Tonight they have Tyson Ross on the mound, and for Ross, he needs to go deeply into this game because of all the bullpen work lately.
It would be really nice for Tyson Ross to go 6 innings, maybe into the 7th, because of the way the bullpen is right now. And if he stays on his game and gets ahead, he'll throw the slider anytime. April 3rd at Colorado, 6 innings. Houston, 6 innings. You look at the earned runs, walks, he's around the plate, he can get the strikeout. Look for this. Look for the slider anytime, any count, and also the velocity for Tyson Ross, that is. Hopefully he has the good one working tonight and has that wipeout slider for the strikeout.
Now coming up, the fallout from the brawl in Denver, the rumble in the Rockies. Bob Scanlon will break down the suspensions when we come back after this.
the Padres and Rockies had a bench clear. Luis Perdomo missing just a little bit inside of Nolan Arenado, who took exception. Not the usual baseball brawl with a lot of pushing and shoving. We see some fists being thrown, some gloves being thrown, even some towels getting thrown. All said and done, 5 players also got thrown out in that ball game. Now today, Major League Baseball laid down the fines and suspensions. It did affect 4 players on Andy Green's roster. Here's what the skipper had to say about how those penalties were assessed.
Suspension-wise, we'll lose Luis Perdomo for 5 games, play a man down for the next 5. Buddy Bauman was suspended for a game. He's back in the minor leagues, so whenever we recall him, he'll have to serve a day's suspension at that point in time. So the one that gets us immediately is Perdomo, so we'll have to reconfigure the rotation, probably insert somebody in there to fill in for a start and back him up and play a man down here for the next 5 days.
So as Andy mentioned, the only thing that will be affected is Luis Perdomo's spot. There's no appeals expected of any of those fines. But as we mentioned, Perdomo is on suspension right now. He'll be able to resume pitching on Wednesday. What does that mean? They need to come up with somebody to pitch on Monday. It could be Robbie Erlin. Who knows? Might be Eric Lauer. That remains to be seen. But right now, it's up to Tyson Ross. The Padres will look to rebound. Ross going up against Ty Block. Padres, Giants, Game 2. This 4-game set coming up next, right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
Presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Cadillac. Visit your San Diego Cadillac dealers today. By Petco, where the pets go. By Jack in the Box. This season, Padres home runs score free Jumbo Jacks, only at Jack in the Box. And by Hyundai. Get a great deal, more than a great deal, on an all-new Hyundai vehicle. See your Hyundai dealer today. Well, Tyson Ross taking the hill tonight at Petco Park in San Diego. Padres in their Friday Browns as Tyson Ross looking to go deeply into this game against the San Francisco Giants. And it's time now for the weather report, brought to you by your always sunny San Diego Honda dealers. 70 degrees, northwest breeze at 10 miles per hour, not a cloud in the sky. And the forecast for more of the same the rest of the night. It is clear here at Petco Park in San Diego. I'm Don Orsillo along with Mark Grebb and Bob Scanlon. Thanks for joining us tonight for Game 2 of the 4-game series. Now Bruce Bochy's team coming in. We get a look at their starting 9 after a big win last night. Joe Panik at second base leads it off with Brandon Belt at first. Andrew McCutchen in right field with Buster Posey doing the catching. And in the cleanup spot with Evan Longoria at third base. Brandon Crawford at short. Hunter Pence in left field. Gregor Blanco in center, and Ty Block gets the start tonight. So far at the plate, 0 for 3. On the mound tonight for the Padres is Tyson Ross.
The 31-year-old, soon to be 32 here in April. The slider, four-seamer, the two-seamer, and the changeup. Let's keep an eye on the velocity and the rotation of that slider. He will throw it any time. Many, many times Tyson has thrown a 2-0. Hitters are looking for the fastball, and that's a good way to throw a strike in a hitter's count.
Well, Joe Panic coming up here to get it started for the Giants. Heard about all their struggles coming into this series last night, and they dominated last night's game. All facets of it. Good pitching, good hitting, good defense. And the Padres trying to bounce back here tonight in game 2. Joe Panic, who's been hovering around 300, hitting at 295, and first pitch of this one is in there for strike 1, and we're underway. Panic at 295 with 3 homers and 3 runs batted in from his top spot in the order. With all the work the bullpen has had after the altercation that took place in Denver in the finale of that series on Wednesday, last night into the bullpen early in the game, and they need Ross to go deeply into this game here tonight.
Good quality strikes early. And what I mean by that, not just throwing the ball down the middle to have the Giants go to hacking. I'm talking about sinkage on the corners, sliders in to break some bats so you get some early outs, possibly some easy grounders.
Eight career starts against the Giants for Ross, 3 and 4 with a 3.44 earned run average. He hasn't pitched against the Giants since 2015. That's before the injuries really hit for him. Soft liner, and that is going to be caught as Christian Villanueva step to his left, handles out number 1.
Let's take a look at that defense behind Tyson Ross. We saw Christian Villanueva at third base, Freddie Galvis at shortstop, at second base Carlos Asuaje, Eric Hosmer, the Gold Glover, at first. Calling the signs tonight, Austin Hedges, and in the outfield, left to right, Perella, Cordero, Renfroe behind Tyson Ross. And it's brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers.
One down here in the first inning brings up Brandon Belt. A shift on Belt on the right side. And stay away with that first pitch for ball 1. Well, the Giants offense finally started to wake up here last night. Last couple of games too. They've scored 15 runs over their last 3 games. Have won 2 of the last 3. The Padres have scored 1 or fewer runs in 5 games on the year, tied for the 3rd most in baseball. So scoring runs has been a problem. See the shift here on Belt, who is trying to bunt his way on, and that will be a base hit. Freddie Galvis the closest to it as he moves over as part of the shift. And Brandon Belt with the shift on gets himself a bunt base hit.
Remember he did that last night, 3-1 count. Earlier in the count this time, 1-1, and he's thinking, you know what, we need base runners, 1 out, why not take that chance early in the count. Perfectly placed for Brandon Belt.
1 out, 1 on, and it brings up Andrew McCutchen, batting in the 3 spot tonight, coming over from the Pittsburgh Pirates. The big pickups for the Giants, and McCutchen off to a slow start, hitting at 220. Just have 2 walk-off hits though. 1 was a home run and 1 a base hit. Giants coming in at 500. They're 6-6. But as I'm talking to Bruce Bochy yesterday, the toughest thing for them right now is injuries. Their top 3 starters on the DL, their closer on the DL. It's a tough way to operate.
And you know what, being 6-6, I'm sure Bruce Bochy would take that, no doubt, right?
Yes, I would say so.
Three games out in the NL West.
Of course, so many games played within the division to begin the year here in the first month, especially. 0-2 to McCutchen. And a grounder towards third. Villanueva will go to second base for 1, on to first. Not going to be in time. McCutchen able to beat it out. They do get the lead runner and Brandon Belt at second base, 2 down.
There's that slider that he beat into the ground. That means Tyson Ross has got some good tilt to it and plays perfectly at third base with Villanueva. There's the rotation. See the little dot, and McCutchen has to reach out for a little bit. The barrel of that bat kind of rolling on top of it, hence the grounder. They did not get two. And you know what? Asuaje, I think, does a fine job at second base on the turn. At least they get that lead runner, and now 2 outs.
So 2 down, McCutchen at first base, and it brings up Buster Posey. While the Giants as a team have not been hitting a ton, Posey has. He's got himself a 10-game hitting streak now, hitting at .441 during the 10-gamer. 15 for 34, the breakdown, the hard numbers. And overall at .375, 2 homers, 8 runs batted in. That's a strike, and it evens it 1-1.
You know, I think Tyson got squeezed on that first one. 2 sliders in a row to Buster Posey to even the count 1-1. Now, you make a good point, Don, regarding Buster Posey hitting so well. Here's the throw over to first base to McCutchen. Coming at you. You know, on deck, you've got Longoria hitting 163, who's struggling a little bit.
3 for 8 with a double and an RBI, though, in the last couple of games. Starting to pick it up in his new home in San Francisco. After being the face of the franchise in Tampa Bay for a long time. 1-1 to Posey. That's in there for strike 2. Tyson Ross coming in individually 1-1 with a 5.25 earned run average.
You know, I think Buster was thinking slider on that last pitch because that was a 90-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle of the plate.
That'll miss, and it evens at 2-2. Full count now, so McCutchen will be off at first base with 2 down in the inning. Tyson Ross lost last time out, 6 innings, giving up 4 runs, but that was the world champion Houston Astros for 107 pitches. His last outing was in Houston. Payoff pitch and a liner back to Ross, who makes the catch at the base of the hill. Done with half an inning. Giants don't score. Padres are coming up. Bottom of the first innings. Check out Andy Green's starting lineup. Padres lineup is brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Leading it off is Franchi Cordero in center field with Jose Perella in left. Eric Hosmer at first base with Hunter Renfroe sliding into the cleanup spot. Christian Villanueva slides down with Freddie Galvis at short. Austin Hedges bats seventh with Carlos Asuaje at second base. And Tyson Ross, the pitcher, operating out of the 9th spot in the Padres order. Dealing tonight with Ty Block on the mound for the Giants.
27-year-old, two-seamer, changeup, curveball, slider, and he stays on the corners. This kid's one heck of an athlete. He could hit as well. He also holds runners well. Keeping the running game down, being from the left side. The port side.
4th start of the year for Block. Trying to continue what Stratton was able to accomplish.
I was just going to say, Don, that he is not overpowering at all. He's high 80s, maybe 90 on the fastball. He's got to rely on location, a little bit of movement off the plate. Look, there's 90 in off the plate.
Cordero reinstated from the DL on Wednesday at Colorado. He had a groin injury. It took place last week of spring training, March 25th against Seattle during the spring, and Cordero strikes out for the first out here at the bottom of the first inning.
Behind Ty Block this evening for the San Francisco Giants. Their defense is brought to you by Cadillac. Veteran third sacker Evan Longoria. Brandon Crawford at shortstop. Pretty good left side for the Giants. On the right side, Panic and Belt. Behind the plate, Buster Posey. In the outfield, veteran outfield, Hunter Pence in left, Gregor Blanco in center, and Andrew McCutchen, the erstwhile Pirate, in right.
One down for Jose Perella. Perella's got that average at 300. No homers, 5 runs batted in for the Padres left fielder.
He works quickly too, Block does.
Out of the chute here, throwing strikes. The first 6 pitches have been strikes and struck out Cordero. Now jumping ahead of Perella here, 0-2.
Changeup.
And a grounder chopped to short where Brandon Crawford fires low, but it's dug out by Brandon Belt on the other side. Let's take a look at the keys to the game brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, on superhero night, hopefully the Padres are superheroes. Solid 6 from Ross, maybe more. That'd be great. And no free outs. Given the Giants free outs last night, which led to a big inning for the Giants. That was in the 6th. He dropped a 4 spot. Those are the keys of the game.
Going over some scouting reports. 2 down here in the first, and Eric Hosmer grounds one back to Ty Block. He'll run a bit, flip underhanded, and in plenty of time to get Hosmer and end the first. Done with 1 without a score.
And some very frustrating news being announced today by the Padres and Dinelson Lamet, as they said that he was going to indeed need season-ending Tommy John surgery on his right elbow. As you may recall, he left his last outing of spring training with discomfort in that elbow. Now, they'd hoped that he could come back by just doing some rest and rehab. That's obviously not going to be the case. Guy is very frustrating. The only good thing is they're not wasting any time. They've made the decision. He's going to have the surgery done in the next week, and hopefully everything goes well, and we'll see him sometime next season, guys.
Yeah, Scan, sometimes you see guys go in the rehab role, trying to rehab it first. It just seems the best way to do this, and that's what I think they came to the decision to do.
No question about it. And you can't blame Dinelson for wanting to try to go about it without having to do anything invasive. And they also discussed the possibilities of doing the platelet procedures and some other things. But again, he wanted to be sure that he didn't waste time and that he was able to come back 100%. This seems to be the best answer for him.
I think it also gives him peace of mind knowing that they're going to fix it. And once again, there's no 100% guarantee, but they have perfected it over the years. Guys have bounced back very, very nicely, unlike maybe in the 80s or maybe early 90s. But I think peace of mind has something to do with it as well.
No question about it. And the good news is, remember, there was a little run there where the Padres had some difficulties with the surgery. It wasn't a guarantee that some of those guys would come back, a la Corey Lukey. But the good news is they've had several good experiences lately. Colin Ray and, of course, Robbie Erlin, who's been throwing the ball as well as anybody right now.
And one down here in the second inning as Longoria struck out swinging for the first out of the inning, and now Tyson Ross dealing with Brandon Crawford. Disappointing for Dinelson Lamet. He was really geared up to be in the rotation as this one lined towards left center field. Over to play it is Cordero, wide turn at first, but Crawford back to the bag at first with one out. He's aboard at first.
Nice job of the Giants shortstop going down and getting that one, and that's a perfect example of using the whole field. And taking a look at the velocity for Tyson Ross, 92, 90, that one 92 out of the hand of the right-hander.
One out, one on, and Hunter Pence coming up. Pence at 220, no homers and 3 runs batted in, into his 13th game of the year. Playing regularly right now in left field. So used to seeing him in the other corner in right field. Some injuries going on with the Giants. Austin Jackson, one of those injuries, and got Gregor Blanco in center field again tonight, and Andrew McCutchen over in right, Hunter Pence in left. The Giants defensively. Fouled back, 0-2.
I think the first pitch slider to a lot of these hitters is going to be key. I'm not saying throw it right down the middle. It's going to have to be a good quality slider, but that's what he's done to Hunter Pence, and he was late on that fastball we just saw. Quickly ahead 0-2.
25th pitch of the outing coming here for Tyson Ross with 1 out.
He'll chase now. Doesn't have to be a strike here.
Fouled it off. Glancing off of Hedges. What a catch by Austin Hedges last night, turning it into a double play. It was a pretty amazing play.
Spectacular.
Swing and a miss, and you're right, he will chase, and he just did. Second strikeout of the inning, end of the outing for Tyson Ross. It's time now for the Kia Drive to Success. And speaking of strikeouts, highest strikeouts per 9 innings versus the Giants since 2012. Tyson Ross, second in that category, 9.82, with only Robbie Ray of the Diamondbacks with more strikeouts per 9 against the Giants.
Well, hopefully Tyson Ross can just put that car in cruise control and hopefully go 7+ innings tonight on his way to a victory and save that bullpen.
2 down here with Crawford at first and Gregor Blanco.
There's that first pitch breaking ball.
10 straight strikes this inning for Tyson Ross. Good ratio here too. He's got 21 strikes to 6 balls.
How about a throw over to first right here?
How about a Fresca?
It's even better. You're learning. I've got
it's
you.
It's taken 3 years, but I'm learning.
I've got you just right where I want you.
Well, the time has really flown by with you.
Means we're having fun. Oh, a little abbreviated slide step right there from Tyson Ross as well. And perfectly executed fastball at 91. Right on the outside corner. Good tilt from the big right-hander. Watch the glove of Austin Hedges. See it, bang. Doesn't even move.
On the ground towards shortstop. Galvis will go to first base with it in time to get Blanco and to end the inning. Inning and a half done. No score from Petco Park. Check out our best seats presented by Jerome's Furniture. They are outstanding seats and a great view of the ball game and very comfortable, of course.
Look at that.
That doesn't get any better than that. Also, you can see us right there on TV right in front of them.
Great.
It's a great setup.
I want to do a game from down there.
Be pretty cool. And Renfroe leading it off here in the home half of the second inning. Moving into the cleanup spot. And Donnie's pick the stick tonight. Goes this one over foul, 1-1. One pitch. Block had a good first inning. He struck out Cordero, then proceeded to get Perella and Hosmer, who each ground out. Hosmer right back to him. Fly ball headed to right field. McCutchen heading over towards the line. And he'll make the catch over there for out number one of the inning. 4 up, 4 down here against Ty Block. McCutchen taking care of out number one, and that'll bring up Christian Villanueva. 2-12 start on the year for Villanueva. Another start down there at third base. 3 home runs and 6 RBIs for him. And of course, those 3 home runs coming in the same game.
Yeah, I'm hoping this is going to be a night where the offensive explosion for the Padres, because Ty Block, he's not a strikeout pitcher. Actually has more walks than strikeouts, so a lot of balls in play, hopefully. Get some multiple base runners to get him into the stretch and put a little pressure on the left-hander.
That 3 home run game for Villanueva was April 3rd. Since then, he has struggled, going 4 for his last 26 with 12 strikeouts in the last 8 games. And Average of 154 since that breakout game. High strike call, and it's 2-1. Kind of got jammed and pops it up foul, backing out of play. Well, for Ty Blach, he's faced the Padres 5 times in his career. 4 starts and has never won. 0-2 with a 3.65 earned run average, giving up 10 earned runs in 24 2/3 innings. In fact, his first career start came here at Petco Park. That was September 25th of 2016. Gave up 2 runs in 3 innings of work, so he didn't go deeply, but his first career start right here.
Well, he's keeping Villanueva off balance, particularly that last pitch. He was way out in front, just kind of flinging at it to foul it off. Well, he's moving the ball in and out, up and down, back and forth.
Has been stepping out on him, trying to mess with his rhythm a little bit because he's working very quickly. This payoff pitch. That's ball 4, and Villanueva, first base runner to reach for the Padres on the night, with 1 down here in the 2nd inning. Time now for our Valley View Casino trivia question.
I love trivia.
Tweet us your answers by the end of the inning using hashtag Valley View Trivia. The Giants have tossed 28 one-hitters since 1969. How many one-hitters have the Padres recorded in that time span? One out in the 2nd inning. Villanueva at first, and Freddie Galvis. Galvis batting out of the 6th spot in tonight's game and toting that .304 average to begin the night. With a home run, 5 runs batted in. He was 0 for 2 last night with a walk and a strikeout. And getting on though, reaching base safely in 13 of the first 14 games of the year. We could hack right there, and he's down 1-2.
Yeah, he got the .418 on base percentage. And to look at that number, you know, if you're around .330, you're doing pretty well. Anything above that is gravy.
And his defense has been stellar.
Spectacular.
That'll drop in there for strike 3. Galvis didn't like it, but he takes with him the 2nd strikeout for Ty Blach. 2 down here in the 2nd inning.
Well, he may have gotten a call right here, but that's one of those that's really, no, you know what, after second look, it looks like it splits the inside corner. 2 strikes, got to be protecting right there, and Freddie doesn't pull the trigger.
So 2 down here in the 2nd. Runner at first, and it brings up Austin Hedges. A pretty good pitch, but called the ball.
Really good pitch.
Austin with 2 home runs in the young season, 4 RBIs. That's here with 2 down in the 2nd, and Christian Villanueva with a very short lead over at first base, held on by Brandon Bell. Flips this one foul down the right field line, out of play.
Hey, did you notice more of the guys are going to the face protector on the helmet?
Yes, even those guys that have not been hit in the face.
You'd rather have it, not need it, right?
Yes, I would agree.
Right? Yeah.
I see a lot of guys who do get hit in the face come back with it and wear it for a while. Down the right field line, first base side. Brandon Belt over by the stands, but no play. And for Ty Blach, got a no decision in his last start, allowing 1 run in 6 innings, and an eventual 2-1 loss to the Dodgers in 10 innings. He pitched pretty well.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy said before game 1 of this series he should have had that when the Giants did not execute that game. In the certain situations that they had right in front of him. Couldn't come through.
Elevates and hedges, chases and strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Ty Block. Through 2 from Petco Park. No score.
Focus on Tyson Ross. On the left, his all-star season. See the arm angle, the arm slot higher, more tilt on the slider after the thoracic outlet surgery. Now on the right, 2018, the arm slot a little lower. Therefore, the slider, more of a sweeping action. Doesn't mean it's a worse pitch by any means. It still can be very, very effective if thrown in the right spot, in the right situation. And also, tilt, spin out of the hand. Different look, different arm slot, but still I think it could be very, very effective for Tyson Ross if thrown correctly and in the right spot.
Ty Block leading it off here, the pitcher for the Giants in the top half of the 3rd inning. 1 for 4 at the plate, hitting at 250. He's got a home run.
Yeah, he can swing it.
On the ground to short. Galvis plants and throws for the first out of the 3rd inning. Be a very comfortable feeling for the Padres pitchers, knowing that anything headed left side of the infield and toward short's going to be handled over there by Freddie Galvis.
Such a good feeling. And as a pitcher, you make your pitch, and as soon as you see that ball off the bat hit towards short, it's like, okay, I can concentrate on the next guy.
Now 1 down in the 3rd inning, and Joe Panic takes strike 1. Second time through now for Tyson Ross. Panic lined out to the 3rd baseman. Christian Villanueva in his first AB. "16 straight strikes have been thrown by Tyson Ross. Prior to that pitch missing, 1-1. He's going to miss inside. A strike throwing machine in this game. 26 strikes, only 8 balls. The breakdown so far for him. 2-1. And he gets credit on that outside corner. Thank you very much. 2-2.
Got that right. Thank you very much.
That was on the corner of what is 8th and
K?
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Oh, look out and hit. There's Joe Panic on a pitch down and in.
Tried to bury the slider to the back foot. The left-handed hitting Panic. And you can see frustrated Tyson Ross there throwing the rosin bag. And it gets the right heel of the front foot. or the bottom of the spike, bottom of the shoe.
1 out, 1 on, and Brandon Bell. And a bunt single with a shift on. They're not shifting now. Actually, they are shifting, but they're keeping it to the infield. A double play possibility, and Belt is a double play candidate. It's not run terribly well. Being a waiver to the right side of the infield, Padres third baseman. Only Galvis on the left side.
Yeah, Galvis with the better range at shortstop. That's usually what happens throughout baseball when you have a shift like that. You got the guy on the left, Galvis. And you know, the shortstop usually is the better athlete on the field, other than the pitcher, that is. So that's why Freddie's over there all by himself.
Smartest guys too. They're the pitchers.
No
also,
question
right?
about it.
Yep. Seeing a trend here. Best athletes, smartest guys. What were you again when you were in the big leagues?
I was a pitcher.
Oh, you were.
I played shortstop too in Little League.
So did I. 2-1.
Blows that theory right out of the water,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
It's really when I peaked.
Little League?
Yes. Really good.
Hey, this is one of those situations where Tyson will throw the slider 3-1. He'll throw it 2-0, 3-1, or down and away with a little fastball, maybe roll it over.
Full count now.
That ball looked like it had a little cut to it. A little cut fastball action maybe at 89, not the 91 or 92 we've been seeing tonight. Oh, yep, that's a cutter. See a little cut action? You see the rotation on it?
Runner goes. Belt on an inside out swing. Fouls it off very defensively. Was running in on it. And running at first base was Joe Panik, so he's got to go back to first. And it's an uncomfortable swing.
Wow. Talk about getting in the kitchen there. Throw over.
Panik was running on the last pitch. Just trying to keep him a little closer over there at first base.
Trying to stay out of the double play.
Ball 4, and they lose Brandon Bell. So hit batter and a walk. Have 2 on now for the Giants with 1 down here in the 3rd inning. That's the first free pass allowed by Tyson Ross in this game. Andrew McCutchen coming up next. McCutchen grounding into a fielder's choice in the first. Last Saturday he was 6 for 7 and the extra inning win over the Dodgers. Liner caught by Galvis, trying to turn it into 2, and he just missed. Covering was a Suaje, and they could not double off Joe Panik, who went diving back to the bag at second. They do get the out of McCutchen on the liner to shortstop. 2 down.
This ball hit so hard it's hooking. Galvis, the quick release back in time. That's good base running. Good base running by Joe Panik at second base. What do they always tell you? Freeze on the line drive. The natural reaction is you hear smacking the ball, especially hard like that. Man, you're going to go 90 feet, possibly score. But he got back quickly.
No panic in Joe. So he got back to the bag at second. 2 down, first and second, and here's Buster Posey. Posey lining back to Tyson Ross in the first inning. And getting his second look at Tyson tonight.
That slider is bringing some of the Giant hitters to their knees. You saw it with Hunter Pence.
In the air, down the right field line, headed towards foul ground. Most runners in scoring position average, and Giants have got it at 170. Timely hit has been hard to come by. Bruce Bochy's 9. Two on, two down, and an 0-2 on the ground to Swahe on to first base, and Tyson Ross gets himself out of a jam in the third. Scoreless after 2.5. Park in San Diego. It's time now for the Community Spotlight, brought to you by Mission Federal Credit Union. Earlier today, Mission Fed donated $23,000 and provided tickets to the American Heart Association. Mission Fed donates around $1.5 million a year to local charities. We thank them for all they do. On to the bottom of the third inning. Carlos Swahe, Tyson Ross, and Franchi Cordero scheduled to face Ty Block, who has worked the first 2 innings and has not allowed a hit so far tonight. Swahe coming in with a 200 average. Padres everyday second baseman, does have a home run and 4 runs batted in. Giants have had some chances early in this game. They've left 4 men on. Padres have left 1 on as they bat here in the bottom of the third inning.
You know, when I look at Ty Block, I'm a firm believer that you can just throw away the radar gun, right? He's not going to light up radar guns. He throws strikes, quality strikes that is, and he's moving the ball around very nicely, changing speeds. I mean, everybody likes a guy who throws 99, 100. That's great.
Grounded down the first baseline to Brandon Belt, who will take it himself, winning the foot race to the bag for the first out here in the bottom of the third inning. Lowest opponent average versus the National League West since 2016, and he's in the conversation, 6th in that category. Opponents in the division hitting at .224 against him. Clayton Kershaw, the top of that list, not a surprise.
That is avoiding the sweet spot. Getting in the kitchen off the end of the bat.
Ty Block, 27 years old. Dealing with the opposing pitcher here. And Tyson Ross, career 199 hitter, does have a home run in his career, and this is his 9th major league season. Brock originally was a 5th-round draft choice by the Giants in 2012. And last year, this Giants starter was 8-12 with a 4.78 earned run average. Some out of the pen.
He just threw Tyson Ross a changeup. He's not going to give in and just throw him a fastball down the middle.
Grounded back towards Block. He'll run a bit and flip underhanded for out number 2. That's 4 ground ball outs and 3 strikeouts for Ty Block. Only 1 out has been in the air so far. That'll bring up the top of the order, second time through now for the Padres in Franchy Cordero.
What in the Kirk Reeder is going on here? Remember him? Lefty
Yes.
for the Giants?
Sure.
Woody?
Four in a row retired, 2 down in the 3rd, and Cordero was a strikeout victim in the 1st inning. And speaking of strikes, take strike 1. Thought about it, but didn't pull the trigger and takes a ball. And we'll walk outside the box. Giants playing for Cordero to go the other way as they pitch inside. Center fielder Gregor Blanco over towards left center. Lots of green grass and a gap out in right center. Chopped up the middle. Brandon Crawford races in right around the bag at second. Throws on the run and in time to get Cordero. The 4th we go. Scoreless from Petco. It's time now to answer our Valley View Casino trivia question. Giants have tossed 28 one-hitters since 1969. How many one-hitters have the Padres recorded in that time? And the answer is 28. The last time was April the 11th. Leading it off here in the 4th inning, Evan Longoria. A strikeout victim in the 2nd. He went swinging. One of 2 Ks for Tyson Ross. And good to have with us Anthony Gwynn Jr. in the booth here for the middle innings. And what are your thoughts on Tyson Ross so far tonight?
He's looked good, and I've been a guy saying he's pitched well his first 2 starts. I mean, he got hit with the home run ball in Houston, but he's pretty solid.
He's thrown that slider early in the count for a strike. He's done it a number of times, first pitch. And you know Tony is a hitter. You look for the old number 1 right out of the chute, right? So I think that sets up the whole at bat nicely. There's a dandy right there.
Third strikeout for Tyson Ross, one down here in the fourth inning.
When I look at a slider and a guy's getting through his pitches and really spinning it, I look at the tilt.
That's a pretty good tilt right there.
Yes, it is. And Longoria opening up with the front side, the hip, the shoulder. Bat dragging through the zone, can't do much damage with a swing like that.
When he was at his best, and I know I asked you this, Mud, before. I mean, is this the kind of slider you can expect from Tyson Ross? Is this very similar to the one when he had it going the best?
I think when we saw that video earlier for Tools of the Trade, his arm angle is lowered a little bit. I think when he was up on top, you saw a little bit more tilt. But like I said, just because the arm angle is lower doesn't mean you still can't get on top of the baseball a little bit to get that rotation, to get good tilt.
Line to right, that's in for a base hit for Brandon Crawford. Over to play it is Renfroe. And Crawford is 2 for 2. One out, one on, and Hunter Pence coming up here for the Giants. Crawford got off to a slow start offensively, coming in at 225, but a couple of hits tonight, 2 for 2 in the game. He's got 2 of the 3 Giants hits. There's Hunter Pence, who struck out swinging in the second inning. That one almost got away. Hedges lunging to the backhand.
Let me ask you a question, Mud. And you saw him when he was here the first time in Tyson Ross. Does his stride look a little bit longer than it was? Because he's a short strider.
Very short strider. And I would think the shorter the stride enables you to get up on top more.
Right.
The longer you stride, maybe that's one of the reasons why the arm angle has lowered a little bit.
That was what I noticed watching the videos that we had up earlier. Looked like his stride is a little bit longer, which may be the reason why his arm slot has dropped a little bit.
You know, when I talk about arm slot and the slider, you know, if you've got a high arm slot, it enables you to get on top of the ball a little bit more and then get that good tilt and that good rotation as we were talking about. But just because you lower your arm angle doesn't mean you still can't stay on top of the baseball to get good tilt. So, you know, if you've got an arm slot like right here, high 3/4, right, it enables you to get on top of that ball and get some good tilt. Now, if you're lower here, that doesn't mean you still can't get out in front and get that good. You know, when you start lowering the arm angle and work it around the baseball like this, that's when you run into trouble and it gets flat.
Right.
You can still stay on top of it from here to get that tilt there.
Swing and a miss, and Pence goes after it, trying to get to second is Crawford. He will be out at second base. A double play. Strike him out, throw him out. That'll work. 3.5 done from Petco Park without a score. Padres baseball brought to you by Sequan Casino. Opening in 2019 is Sequan's brand new 300-room resort and hotel. By Tough Turtle Turf, a full landscape design company. And by Nissan. Take on the unexpected with Nissan's available intelligent safety shield technologies. Innovation that excites. A good one tonight. Good pitchers battle here tonight. Ty Block and Tyson Ross into the bottom of the fourth without a score. And a first pitch strike over the outside corner to Jose Pirello. Leads it off here in the fourth inning. Pirello grounded out to shortstop first time up. Now grounded to first base. Brandon Belt ranges over and right at the line. Able to tag the bag for the first out of the fourth inning. And for Ty Block, it's now 5 ground ball outs. They're starting to quadruple here for him.
And once again, Tony, avoiding the sweet spot, getting in the kitchens off the end of the bat, not really good swings.
Well, we talked about in the pregame, in order to have some success off of Block, you had to really make him work. He has a bad walk to strikeout ratio. You got to be able to foul some of these tough pitches off because he's not in the middle of the plate that much today. So you're going to have to foul some of these pitches off and force him to execute these pitches over and over again.
And coming into the game, he had walked 8, struck out 6. Grounder right side to Panic on to first, and Hosmer is 0 for 2. 2 down here in the fourth inning. And that is now 7 in a row retired by Ty Block.
Tony, how frustrating is it when you've got a guy out there who barely breaks 90, but yet he's all over the place as far as good strike, in, out, up and out, right? How frustrating is it?
It's really frustrating. And when you let's just highlight those last 2 pitches. According to the strike zone, they're just off the plate. But the Padres continue to offering at him. So if you're not going to force him to put pitches over the white part of the plate.
Right at Hunter Pence on a line. A 1, 2, 3, 4th inning, 8 in a row retired by Block. Finish well at Citi Field in New York. A similar catch that he made last night. May have been a tougher play.
It was
in New York. This one turns into a double play for Hedges this season. And the ballpark's still abuzz after what they saw last night. It was a tremendous play, a tremendous defensive catcher in Austin Hedges.
Well, my favorite superhero is Superman. I mean, look what all he can do. X-ray vision. He's got the the powerful breath, the powerful voice, that he can do so many things.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
Exactly.
I kind of like Aquaman myself.
Austin Hedges has leaping ability. I mean, that's his superpower. And plus, he can throw from the seat of his pants with accuracy.
Who does that fall under? What superhero does that one fall under?
Throwing with accuracy? Captain America, maybe? I don't know. There's a few Captain Americas walking around this ballpark, I noticed.
I was sure there was going to be more adults dressed in superhero outfits today.
Absolutely. Gregor Blanco leading it off here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and that was close. Didn't get the call.
You think about it, flight. Who doesn't want to fly?
Yeah.
Superhuman
I don't
strength.
need to fly.
I'm kind of
X-ray
cool on
vision,
flying.
heat vision,
Too
cold.
much stuff in the air, you know. You could fly into a building. Who knows?
There's so much you can do.
Aquaman. I'm telling you, that's where it's at.
So you're a friend of the fish and
Yes.
the marine
I'm
life.
amphibious. Swing and a miss, and Blanco strikes out. It's 5 Ks now for Tyson Ross. And one away here in the 5th inning.
He has got the release point down, and we talked about tilt last time he was out there, and that is some serious tilt, serious break. There's the dot. And once again, these giant hitters way out in front of that superhuman slider.
He just looks so much freer throwing the baseball.
He
than
does,
did.
doesn't he? I talked to him in Colorado before he went out for his bullpen. Or no, when was it? It's out in front of the dugout before batting practice. And he just says he feels free and easy. Last year was one of those years that was kind of like, you know, I'm still kind of getting it after the surgery. And then this whole off season going through his routine to get ready for spring training. And I mean, we're seeing it right before our very eyes.
I think this was the first offseason he's had healthy in like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
That makes a huge difference for any player.
That's eye block, the pitcher for the Giants.
Some cut fastballs too, Tony. We've
Yeah,
seen
the
that.
one before he changed balls cut.
Popped up, shallow right, ducking back. Aswahe backpedaling, and he'll give way to Renfroe. 2 down.
We talked a lot about the velocity, losing some of the velocity. Seems like he's adapting to it. You know, that's a tough thing for a lot of guys to make the transition, to learn how to pitch a little bit more without that velocity. I mean, he's pretty much been from 89 to 92 today.
Yep.
You know, Tyson was up in the 94, 95 range before the surgery. So this is a good sign.
Now, the difference is in arm angle now. Do you think that is because a result of the injuries that he had in the past?
I think it might be, and the only reason why I say that is because talking to Clayton Richard,
Right.
he just felt his arm angle now was. He told me, I think he said, you know, before he kind of forced himself to stay on top. Now he said after the surgery, he just feels much. He just threw, just more naturally, and he found that arm slot and became comfortable with it. And there might be the same case with Tyson. Not thinking so much, I got to get on top. Just be natural to wherever your natural arm slot may be.
It's a good point, because so many times, even at the youth levels, everybody teaches you get on top of the baseball, but that's not everybody's natural arm slot.
Right.
Everybody's going to have a different arm slot, and sometimes you can actually hurt yourself forcing yourself to get on top of the baseball when it's not your natural arm slot.
I remember in Little League, you always heard, get your elbow up above your shoulder, right, to stay on top.
Right.
Oh, maybe that's not the kid's natural arm slot.
Right.
Well, then you're watching big leaguers throw from flipping the ball over first base. Well, they're throwing from down under. Why can't I?
And Tyson Ross working here into the 5th inning. There's a superhero right there, Captain
kid's gonna
America.
Captain America.
He's going to save the world. That's awesome.
On the ground and through into right field, a base hit. Not hit hard, but well placed between Aswahe and Hosmer on the right side of the infield. And Joe Panic on for the 2nd time tonight, his first hit. With a 4th hit allowed by Tyson Ross.
You mentioned it, Don. Not hit very hard, just found some open territory on that infield, and you can live with those type of hits if you're Tyson Ross. As long as they're not stacking up on each other, you feel pretty good about your stuff and where you're locating the baseball at.
Padres going into a shift on the right side here on the Giants' first baseman. And Brandon Belt to take a pitch up for ball 1. Tyson throwing 107 pitches last time out against Houston after throwing 81 in his first outing, so he is stretched out. Ground ball with a shift on, and Aswahe dives and knocks it down. As going to third base is Panic, and it's first and third now with 2 down. Giants have something going here, and that one just trickling through the shift as Aswahe dives to knock it down.
We're going to see another weakly hit ground ball, but because of the shift, this ball is able to find just enough territory, just past the outreached arm of Aswahe.
5-hopper through the infield.
Sometimes they say it's better to be lucky than good.
Now first and third here with 2 down. That's the second hit of the night for Brandon Bell. He had a bunt single earlier. So he is 2 for 2 in the game with a walk, but on base 3 times. Chance here for Andrew McCutchen to do some damage. I showed it earlier. Giants last in batting average with runners in scoring position. They have not had timely hits for Bruce Bochy so far in the season. And McCutchen with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, 0 for 8 on the year in that category.
How about 0 for 9?
Could be true. The center, Cordero waiting on it. And Franchi will put it away. And out of the jam is Tyson Ross. Halfway through without a score in San Diego. Coming up in the 7th inning, stay tuned for the Arco game break. Mike Pomerantz and our friend Tony Gwynn Jr. It's coming up in the 7th inning. Did you know that, Tony?
You do now.
I do now.
I was going to ask you what you're going to tell us, but since you didn't even know you were going to be there, chances are you don't know what you're going to talk about.
Oh, I'll figure it out when I get down there.
Okay. The last of the 5th, Christian Villanueva leading it off and jumping back out of the way of that pitch. Padres do not have a hit tonight as they bat here in the 5th inning. Just one batter reach, and that was Villanueva on a walk. Now a ground ball foul just outside the bag at third. 8 in a row retired by Ty Block. And a groove tonight. Nearing 50 pitches. Here is 49 from the left-hander.
Mark, at some point as a pitcher, you realize that you're in a groove, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like having blinders on, man, like a racehorse coming to the finish line.
Doesn't matter what you do, you're just in a groove, right?
You know, Tony.
Slowly rolled deep at third was Longoria, barehanded, and he won't be able to get a throw off. There's a base hit, the first of the night for the Padres, and it opens up the bottom of the 5th inning.
You know, it didn't happen too often for me, but those few times, and I'm serious, when it did happen, there was nothing like it. As we take a look at this chopper here, it's a do-or-die play for Longoria. Off kind of the heel of the hand, there's the changeup, and once again, avoiding that sweet spot. Villanueva likes to pull the baseball. He does just that, and the Padres have a base runner.
I think from the offensive standpoint, when you get a pitcher who is locked in like that, you have to try to do something. You got to upset timing, call timeout different times, take your time getting out of the box.
And when you experience that as a pitcher, the ball just comes out. It's almost like effortless. You're just seeing the signs, you're seeing the glove, you're going, everything's in order. The ball leaves your hand, and it's like, man, it's just right there.
How much are you not thinking?
That's the key.
You're just throwing, right?
You're just throwing.
Same thing as a hitter. When you're in that group, you're not thinking about mechanics. You're not thinking about anything but seeing the baseball.
Manfred Galvis down 0-1, a bluff by Block. I got a number for you guys. Padres in the series against the Giants at the plate are 2 for 40 in the series. It has been a tough go.
It's tough to win games when you're only getting 2 hits. Still plenty of ball game left in this for the Padres. They got to find a way to get some runs across, get some hits first.
Double play depth are the Giants in the infield. Villanueva at first, and there's a ground ball to deep short. Crawford will go to second, and they'll get the lead runner there in Villanueva. So 6-4 on the force out at second base, and Galvis will reach it first.
Probably getting an opportunity to see 2 of the best shortstops in this division here at Crawford and Galvis. Play is not easy. Ball's deep in the hole, picks it on kind of an in-between hop, makes a strike throw to panic there.
Ty Block liked it. He's got 1 out here in the 5th inning. Galvis at first, and now he's going to deal with Austin Hedges. Batting out of the 7 spot in the Padres order tonight. Austin, a strikeout victim in the 2nd. 1 of 3 Ks tonight for Ty Block. On a strike here to Austin Hedges. Pops it up foul, off to the right out of play.
Look at that pitch, 90 miles an hour, middle in, and just can't square it up.
Hasn't been very many good swings off of Block today.
Working from the stretch, Mark. You've been working from the full line for a long time. How big a deal is it now to all of a sudden change it up?
Well, with the way he's going, even the way that Villanueva got on base, it was still off the end of the bat for the first hit, and then now he's getting into Austin Hedges from the stretch. To me, it doesn't seem like it's bothering him all that much.
Again, when your confidence is rolling that high, you're not even thinking about the fact that you got to go from the stretch anymore. You're just going to keep executing the pitches.
To right field, and that's going to get in for a base hit for Hedges. Galvis will stop at second, and Padres have something going here in the 5th. Runners at first and second with 1 down in the inning.
You know, I think the problem for the Padres is the velocity is a little slower than normal.
Right.
This is the first time we've seen a hitter back a baseball up and hit it the other way. It's probably not even a strike. It's just a good swing there by Austin Hedges. Stays down, keeps his head down on it, hits the ball where it's pitched. Runners on first and second.
Tony, would it be fair to say against a guy like Block to where you pick out one part of the plate and you wait for that one pitch at bat, and that's your intent to go that way?
The way he's pitching today, absolutely. He's either on one side of the plate or the other, so you kind of have to eliminate it.
Suaje hits one in the air down the left field line, pants over towards the seats, and he won't have a play.
You bring up a good point, Mark. Block is so good right now going on both sides of the plate, not leaving anything in the middle. This is the adjustment that the Padre hitters have to make. They have to decide, pick a side, and be disciplined on that side so you don't miss that pitch when you get it. That's not to say Blatch is going to continue to pitch like this for the rest of the game, but as of right now, you've got to make that adjustment.
Swahe thought about it, didn't pull the trigger. Next pitch will be the 60th or block of the night. Runners in scoring position. Padres hitting at 277. Third in the National League in that category. Braves and Pirates operating over 300. On the ground right side, Belt will bobble it. He will flip underhanded, and that is in time. Wow. I don't know. We'll see. Will Green may be challenging that.
I don't like Carlos Swahe's initial reaction. He was going to pick his helmet up and go straight to the bench. Hopefully that's not an indication of him being out right here. Ooh, I think he might have got that. Oh, he's safe.
Oh, yeah.
He's safe.
Padres will challenge here. And I think they're going to like the result.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just hold my breath every time. You know, you think wrist, elbow, finger, shoulder.
It's a dangerous play for anybody.
Well, Brendan Bell had a chance for a double play there, but instead bobbled the ball. And then flipped to first base, and it was a bang-bang play. The call on the field was out with a Swahe in the head-first dive at first, and they're showing it on the big board here, and everybody's seeing that this will likely be overturned.
Brandon Belt makes the mistake that you see a lot of fielders make. Tried to make the play into second base before he actually had finished catching the ball. He takes his eye off it for a sec, and he ends up booting it. Benefits the Padres. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Tyson Ross will be asked to come through with 2 outs right here. I'm sorry, 1 out. Okay.
So an error charge to Brandon Belt on the play. Bases now loaded with 1 away, and here is Tyson Ross. Chance here to help out his own cause. Scoreless tie tonight from Petco Park, and really the first opportunity the Padres have had in this game. There's ball 1. So Block is a little rattled here with what's gone on behind him. Tyson grounded back to the mound in the 3rd inning. 0 for 1. Two and 0. You've been dealing all night of your tie block. All of a sudden, things are happening here. Bruce Bochy not liking what he's seeing. 2-0. Ball 3, 3-0. Can't throw a strike right now.
It's amazing how quickly it can change.
Ross taking all the way, and he takes strike 1.
I'm Tyson Ross. I'm taking 3-1 as well.
Absolutely. You know what I'm thinking about? Even taking the whole way, because you don't want to ground into a double play.
That's a good point.
Strike 2, full count.
If he gets a fat pitch here, he's got to be hacking that way. If you really think about it, right? The guy, if he squares one up, he can hit a gap. He can hit it a long way. He can find a hole in the infield.
He is swinging, and he lines it into right field for a base hit. Freddie Galvis will score, and the Padres will take a 1-0 lead. Their pitcher, Tyson Ross, drives in the game's first run.
What a well-executed at bat by Tyson Ross. It's a fastball up. pitch that he can handle. Again, another hitter using the other side of the field. Works out for the Padres, gives them a 1-0 lead. Remember, this inning was started on an infield single, a force out. You get the base hit by Hedges, and Padres are in business. And this leads me to my point. In all of these at-bats, you didn't have one strikeout. Just by simply putting the ball in play, you gave your team an opportunity. You forced the defense to make a play, and that's how this inning started.
And the Giants have been early in the season to catch the ball. They've been a pretty good defensive team.
Well, Franchi Cordero with a chance. Let's take a look at ball one. Kirk Young, the pitching coach, was out there.
It's a prime example of how empty at bats get you nothing. Much better to put the ball in play.
Franchi tonight 0 for 2. Struck out swinging in the first, grounded out to short in the third. Now a grounder to first base, and Brandon Belt's coming home for the force out there. So electing to come home, and they get the force out of Austin Hedges at the plate on the chopper down the first base line for out number 2.
As an infielder, Tony, I would have to say that he's charging this baseball. That's the play. You want to get that lead runner. It's a forced play, not a tag play. So you just need to get it in the general vicinity of Buster Posey at home plate. And
that's what changes that play for Belt there. He can afford to charge this baseball knowing that he's going to go home to try to get the force out.
Well, the Padres were checking to see whether they could challenge that, and whether they are going to challenge that. They are not. So bases reloaded, 2 down in the inning, and Jose Pirela coming up. So is the 25th pitch of this inning. It's been a battle this inning for Ty Blach.
This is not a guy I would want to face with the bases loaded.
This is his first plate appearance this year, the bases loaded. Does not have a grand slam on his resume yet. Blach is allowed 4 hits in the inning. An error, costly error in this inning also from Brandon Belt. In the dirt and gathered there by Buster Posey.
And as ball 1 approaches in the dirt, the strike zone for a hitter, I would imagine, Tony, starts to shrink just a little bit, right, to your advantage.
Yeah, when you start to see a guy who begins to labor a little bit, you do have to do a good job of shrinking the zone.
Nobody warming in the Giants' pen so far in this one. Pirela lines it into right field for a base hit. From third comes Asuaje, and the Padres take a 2-0 lead. Jose Pirela cashes in on the opportunity. 2-0 San Diego.
I really hate to sound like a broken record, but once again, the opposite field is where the happiness is. Another laser to right field. Good piece of hitting by Pirela there. That ball's on the black. It's a good pitch by Blatch, and Padres are doing some fine piece of hitting.
Well, that broken record is music to our ears.
Pirela fired up at first base. Padres have a 2-run lead. And some timely hitting here in the 5th inning.
Coach doesn't look too happy.
No. Not having fun here in the 5th inning. Derek Hosmer 0 for 2 tonight. I'd like to join in on the fun here.
I would like him to join on the fun too.
Fouls it off, evens the count 1-1.
It's such a tough pitch for the left-hander facing a left-handed pitcher. Ball looks like you can get to it, but it's really running in off the plate on you. It's just hard to get your hands there unless you're cheating.
Here's action for the first time in this game. Johnson up in the pen, a right-hander. Here's Johnson, not yet seen in the series. On the ground towards Panic at second base, and that will be that in the inning. But the Padres come up with two, take a 2-0 lead to the 6th inning. And I'll tell you what, Tyson Ross been great tonight.
Talk about the strikeout. How do you get some strikeouts? That slider with a good tilt. Put him on the defensive, but bringing some hitters to his knees. And then he grabs the shillelagh and helps his own cause. Singles to right. Hard holding back the smiles. Skip Schumacher, the first base coach, and Tyson Ross. And now Tyson Ross has 2 runs to work with as we go to the top of the 6th.
It's a lot easier to enjoy baseball when you're healthy, and that's what that looks like right there.
Yeah, he really looks very comfortable, free and easy. There's no doubt about that.
Velocity is not what it used to be, like Tony mentioned. And it seems to me like he's placing the fastball very, very well, cutting it a little bit too, we've seen, and then wiping him out with that slider.
Seems like he's thrown a lot more cutters in the last 2 innings than he was in the first 3.
I think so too.
Well, it works here into inning number 6. And dealing with Buster Posey to get it started. Posey, Longoria, and Crawford anticipated here in the top of the 6th inning. Posey 0 for 2 tonight.
We'll talk about a shutdown inning. You need one right here.
Off balance cut right there. He was fooled badly.
You've battled to score runs like this, and you get some runs across. It's important to hang a 0 up that next inning. Keep that momentum rolling.
On the ground left side, Galvis quickly gets rid of it, and in time to get Posey.
Hey, watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At-Bat Premium. It'll allow you to watch live baseball on all of your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
One down here in the 6th inning for Evan Longoria. It's a tough night tonight against Tyson Ross, striking out twice. Went swinging in the 2nd, swinging in the 4th inning. In the air to left center field, struck pretty well. Pirela going back to the dirt of the track to make the catch, route number 2. For good measure. Goes into the wall out there after making the grab on the warning track. 2 down.
First base coach Skip Schumacher's put in a lot of work, him and Jose Pirela. Showing off some of that footwork there. Gets a good jump on this ball. Takes a good route.
Well, he's come a long way defensively.
You notice he had to readjust at the end to come in. As an outfielder, you much rather take a deeper cut when you go out when you go towards the wall than to have to take that banana route and have to peel it back.
So easier to come in on it, obviously, than having to retreat going back.
Exactly, especially when you're considering that you're on the corners. The ball's going to be kind of having an angle to it as it is. If you don't take the proper route from the jump, it makes it a much more difficult play.
Well, that was the thing I think I noticed in the beginning last year in spring training. We watched him. The routes were the biggest deal. He was having trouble getting a good read. That's changing.
I mean, every big leaguer can catch a baseball. It's when you have bad routes at the big league level, it can make everything much more difficult.
This one lined into right, and Brandon Crawford adds to what has been a very good night. He's 3 for 3 now, all singles. And on here with 2 down in the inning. We got Hunter Pence, who has struck out twice, coming up. It's been a 5 strikeout night for the Padres right-hander Tyson Ross. In the dirt, and Hedges able to block it. Didn't get all that far away from him. No chance for Crawford to take off to second base. As Hedges captured it pretty quickly. Hosmer continues to hold on Crawford.
Always have to anticipate that ball in the dirt, the breaking ball, and proper way of getting down on the knees, hands out in front. You have no way of controlling where that ball is going to bounce. You can only get yourself in the right position, and Austin is very good at that.
From the looks of it, looks like Austin Hedges' reputation is starting to spread around the league. Crawford didn't even attempt to look at second base right there. That ball trickled away far enough where most guys are going to take a shot.
On the ground to short. Galvis will play the high hop to second for the force out. That ends the top of the 6th inning. 2-0 Padres.
The San Diego Padre hat there in the blue and the white. She's trying to go incognito, but we caught her. That's Kim Playcheck. She's director, regional operations for Fox Sports San Diego. You know what she's only responsible for? Setting everything up, like the trucks. It's her birthday, and why not have a social sparkler?
Cocktails.
Enjoy a ball game. But she does everything, sets everything up, makes sure everything's, on the road with all the trucks and all the behind the scenes operations and a very integral part of all that happens at Fox Sports San Diego. So happy birthday, Kim.
Hunter Renfroe leading it off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Tough keeping you happy, I know that. You're very high maintenance, and setting everything up for you is a tall task. This one to right field. McCutchen going back over his head. That's going to one hop the wall. Hunter's going to run, heading to second base, and he'll pull it up there with a double that starts the 6th inning.
That's what we're talking about, going the opposite way. We know a Hunter Renfroe sees a pitch outer half. That looks like, let's see the location. Yes, it's up, it's away, almost like the one to Tyson Ross. He spanks this one. Let's check out the route of McCutchen. And this was just hit too hard. Whoa, he overran that one. Time for the Padres to add on.
Yeah, he was going sideways while it was going back. I don't think he got a real good read. Christian Villanueva has been on twice, a walk and a single. And he takes strike one. A double for Hunter Renfroe starts the 6th inning. Padres trying to add on to a 2-0 advantage tonight against the Giants. Quickly 0-2. Through the first 4, Block had not allowed a hit and had retired 8 in a row before the leadoff base hit by Christian Villanueva in the 5th inning, and that's what started that rally. Here's a bloop down the right field line that is going to fall. From second base comes Renfroe. He will score on a bloop double down the right field line for Villanueva. The Padres take a 3-0 lead.
With the way the defense is playing for San Francisco, they know that Christian Villanueva likes to pull the ball. He tries to bury something inside. It's up in the zone. He fights it off and nowhere close. Belt is way off the line at first base, almost in between first and second. McCutchen is shading over towards the right center field gap, trading places with Hunter Renfroe.
Padres have been 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position. They have Villanueva at second, and here's Freddie Galvis. And he grounds one up the middle into center field, a base hit. Villanueva being waved around. Blanco's throw will be cut off, and the Padres take a 4-0 lead. Freddie Galvis driving in another run.
Padres having a block party here in the bottom of the 6th. Having some fun, driving in some runs, just out of the reach of a diving Joe Panic. And swinging early is Freddie Galvis, chalk up another run.
Action in the pen. Chris Johnson was up earlier. He's back up again. Block running into trouble here, giving up 3 straight hits to begin the 6th, and that's going to be the night it looks. As here comes Bruce Bochy, and he will make the change. So the Padres, who got 2 in the 5th, have added 2 in the 6th inning so far. Still nobody out. And San Diego on top 4-0. The pitching change from Petco Park. Fastball brought to you by Evans Tire and Service Centers, home of the buy two, get two. By Petco, where the pets go. And by Jerome's Furniture, where Jerry's price is the lowest price every day. Now the Padres all of a sudden put together some offense here tonight on the benefit of 7 hits. So far have compiled 4 runs in the game, and they got 2 in the 5th, 2 so far here in the 6th inning. And a new pitcher on, Pierce Johnson, second arm used tonight by Bruce Bochy.
Four-seam fastball, curveball, and a cutter, about 93. He's been pitching well lately. He's allowed 1 run in 7 innings over 5 appearances this season. He's doing a fine job out of the bullpen.
So Galvis at first base, held on over there by Brandon Belt. Nobody out. And Austin Hedges, who singled his last time up in the 5th inning. 1 for 2 night for the Padres catcher.
Opponent's only hitting 130 off of Johnson. As we take a look at the Padres bench, what's been the common theme? They're taking advantage of pitches up and away and taking them that way, using the whole field for the Padres, resulting into 7 hits, as Don mentioned, and the 4 runs.
Got to really give him credit for the adjustment they made second time through against Block, who was dealing. And as I mentioned, he had not given up a hit through the first 4 innings. Well, that changed. Guys made some adjustments.
More pitches that have been up towards the eye level. Tyson Ross's was up there, and the other hits, just easier to get that ball out in front the other way and drive it that way rather than trying to pull it.
Johnson comes in, inherits the runner at first base. So far, Ty Block charged with 4 runs. To center field, Blanco coming in. We're out number 1 of the 6th inning, and back to the bag at first goes Freddie Galvis. So 1 away here in the 6th inning, and that'll bring up Carlos Suave. The Giants, who have not scored in this game, have had their chances. They've left 7 men on base. Carlos reached on an error his last time up, 0 for 2 in the game, and getting his first look at Pierce Johnson.
Well, according to my book, Donald, all singles given up by Tyson Ross.
You are correct, Mudley.
Six singles to be exact, correct?
6. 3 for Brandon Crawford.
6 singles. It's like your wallet at the end of a 10-day road trip.
I'm not sure I had 6 singles at the end of this last road trip.
Got to keep the foot on that gas pedal, though, right? Got to add on, keep adding on. You know, the Padre hitters, though, now different angle from the righty Johnson, and turn up the dial a little bit, even though it's 3 ticks on the velocity. That's a big difference.
To the first, and Galvis back to the bag. Freddie has not tried to steal yet. Held on over there by Brandon Belt. They have 1 out here in the 6th inning. Freddie Galvis gaining that lead again. A little bit high, and it evens at 2-2. Ty Block went 5+, gave up 7 hits, so far 4 runs. Walked a batter and struck out 3. He faced 1 over the minimum through the first 4 innings. All of a sudden he goes from the full line kind of into the stretch, and things change. Outside, full count. Signs for Buster Posey, who looked into Bruce Bochy. Not they're going over to first base. That is strike 3. Aswahe called out on strikes. Spins out of the box with strikeout number 1 for Pierce Johnson. 2 down in the inning.
Looks like it might be off the plate just a little bit at 94. Buster Posey, he's set up inside and sticks that one on the outside. Boy, he didn't even frame that one. He just caught that ball and got right out of the crouch, anticipating possibly a runner going.
Well, here's Tyson Ross, who drove in a run in the 5th inning. Well, the Padres pitchers the last couple of nights. You had Clayton Richard with a pinch hit single in last night's game, and Tyson Ross with a hit to drive and a run. Get it all started for the Padres in the 5th inning. So he is doing it offensively and defensively, pitching great tonight. Throw to first, and Galvis froze there initially, but able to get back to the bag. Breaking ball coming up here. And Ross takes it upstairs, 1-1. Block still looking on here. His outing over. Responsible for Galvis at first base. Two-one pitch coming up here to Tyson Ross. And it's fouled off to the right out of play. 2-2. Time now for the Bill Howe play of the game. And Tyson Ross batting with the bases loaded in the 5th inning, driving in the first run. Freddie Galvis coming in. Ross at the plate had been 0 for 3 this season. Swing and a miss, and Ross strikes out to end the inning. Padres tack on 2 more, take a 4-0 lead to the 7th. Ross on the mound. He ends up here so far with 5 strikeouts. Early on, striking out a couple in the 2nd inning, and then Ross hitting with the bases loaded. This will score Freddie Galvis, getting the Padres on the board. They would add on as Freddie Galvis, part of a 2-run 6th inning, just out of the reach of Joe Panik, scoring Villanueva And the Padres have a 4-0 lead to the 7th inning. Ty Blach, who is on the hook, the starter tonight for the Giants, and Tyson Ross pitching here into the 7th inning. So far allowing no runs in 6 innings. And Crawford for the Giants offensively leading them with 3 hits in the game, but all the hits are singles. And Christian Villanueva 2 for 2 with a single, a double, and an RBI.
And it seems the main thing in this ball game up to this point has been the adjustments the Padre hitters have made. And also credit Tyson Ross. There's been 3 innings when the Giants have had multiple base runners, but he has left them with zeros, making big time pitches and finding himself into the top of the 7th.
His 90th fouled off here, and it is 1-1. Now 91 pitches in his outing. Pablo Sandoval has come out on deck here in the pitcher's spot. Fouled off to the left, out of play. Blanco has grounded out to shortstop and struck out swinging. Now he flares one into short center, but Galvis's throw won't be in time. Nice bid though. Freddie Galvis going out there onto the outfield grass to get that in behind second. And his throw just a little bit late. Blanco gets in.
I thought that ball was ticketed for center field. In comes Freddie Galvis. Mark McGuire on the horn to mission control. Andy Green says, wait a second. So let's take a look.
Padres are not going to challenge this play.
Very, very close, but I think you're right. Safe.
So a hit for Blanco. And Pablo Sandoval coming up here to pinch hit in the pitcher's spot. 3 for 14 so far in the year with a home run. 4 runs batted in into his 8th game. And we'll take a look at strike one. Sandoval rejoining the Giants last year. That's a big part of their championship teams. Swing and a miss. Spent 3 years in Boston in between stints in San Francisco.
Here's a guy you don't have to throw a strike to. That's been the constant thing throughout his career. You can throw it up over his helmet and he'll swing at it. Bounce one on home plate.
Center fielder Cordero over towards left center. Well, off the line and right is Renfroe. You look at that outfield alignment on Sandoval, and that pitch is up. 2-2. Stammen up in the bullpen for the Padres. A watchful eye of Doug Bachler. Nothing. Padres lead. Ross pitching here into the 7th. Go to first and back to the bag safely is Blanco. Action in the pen for the Giants as well. Dyson up. Not seen Sam Dyson yet in the series as Sandoval fouls it off down by the shoe tops. Pitch number 100 coming up here for Tyson Ross.
And according to that last slider he threw, he has still the good rotation and the good location on pitch 99. wanted to throw it towards that back foot of the left-handed hitting Sandoval. Here comes another slider.
And it's on the ground right side. Aswahe will go to second for one or none. Off the glove, Freddie Galvis. Everybody's going to be safe. Blanco to second, and Sandoval will reach it first.
Let's see if he's just a little bit too quick. Check out the feed from Aswahe. Oh, yeah, caught it on his extreme right. You can see his hand is there by his glove, wanting to make the transfer. Off the mark, ooh, off the webbing of the glove.
Error charged to Galvis on the play. That's a night for Tyson Ross, but he departs not having allowed a run. Fans will let him know what they think of him as he heads off with a 4-0 lead. Top of the 7th inning, and that's the night for Tyson Ross. Ends up throwing an even 100 pitches. Responsible for runners at first and second, but 6+ shutout innings at this point for Tyson Ross. So he hands the baseball off to the pen and Craig Stammen.
Tyson Ross pitched his heart out tonight. Now turning over to a superhero. Look at these numbers for Craig Stammen. Excluding his one intentional walk, he's retired 25 of the 26 batters he has faced. Opponent's only hitting .038. That's not a misquote. .038. 1 for 26 in 6 appearances this season.
Is that good?
I think that's pretty good.
I was dealing with Joe Panic, who lined out third in the first, hit by a pitch in the third, single to right field in the 5th inning. In the air to left, and that's going to get in for a base hit. Blanco's going to score. Throw is cut off, and the Giants are on the board. Throw got away, but Sandoval will not get any further as he gets back to the bag at second. RBI single for Joe Panic, and the Giants are on the board here in the 7th inning. That run is charged to Tyson Ross.
Craig Stammen tries to go down away with the two-seamer, and just a little flick of the magic wand right there. Up a lofty pitch to the left-handed Panic, and he just soft serves that one into left. That's about all you can do with that pitch. And thank goodness that ball is close enough to where on that throw, after that throw, the runners stay put. They don't advance. They still keep the double play in order.
Still nobody out here in the inning, and Brandon Belt the batter. Strike call. Belt didn't like it. Belt on 3 times in tonight's game. Had a bunt single in the first inning, then a walk in the third. A single in the 5th. Fouled off, backing out of play. 0-2. Stammen first out of the pen tonight for the Padres after 6+ from Tyson Ross. Ross responsible for Pablo Sandoval, who's at second base right now with nobody out. Joe Panik at first, the responsibility of the new pitcher Craig Stammen. That's strike 3. Brandon Belt didn't like strike 1, doesn't like strike 3.
I think this is a pretty good pitch. I mean, that's right on the corner. Knee high, 85, breaking ball. That is a pitcher's pitch.
So first and second now with 1 out. Craig Stammen gets his first strikeout. Tyson Ross had 5 Ks and 6+. And here's Andrew McCutchen. Hitless tonight, 0-for-3. And a grounder towards short. Galvis will go to second for 1. On to first for 2. Double play. Craig Stammen induces the double play. 6-4-3. Giants get a run. It is 4-1. Padres on top. Time now for the Arco game break. Mike Pomerantz and Tony Gwynn Jr.
Well, Don, thanks very much. Really, the story of this one, Tony, is the fabulous work by Tyson Ross. And we talked about it in the pregame show, what we might expect to see from him. What was your assessment?
I mean, he was good today. He looked really comfortable out there, used the fastball very well, but the slider was the wipeout pitch today. We kind of highlighted it a little bit earlier today. We talked about the arm angle, but at the end of the day, today, his slider was nasty, and we got a lot of strikeouts on it.
I was getting a little bit more of that north to south that we thought, right?
Yeah, and it's hard to tell whether it's his arm angle that he's had to adjust because of the surgery, or if it's something that the length of his stride is a little bit different. Who knows? We'd have to talk to him about it, but certainly today the tilt on the slider was more like the Tyson Ross we had seen a few years ago in San Diego when he was here the first time. He doesn't have the fastball velocity that he's had before, but because he's using that cutter a little bit, that slider had some good action on it today.
You think he's in the clubhouse wagering with the other pitchers? Like I saw what Clayton did. I'll try to raise you on here.
Possibly. I mean, he came through with a big single there to score a run, helped his own cause. He had a good day today.
Well, that's going to be the end of your Arco game break. Before we go back to Don and Mark, though, here's a message from our friends at Arco.
Giants do get a run back in the top half of the 7th. Padres coming up here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and a new pitcher on now for the Giants. 3rd of the night, Sam Dyson into the game now for San Francisco.
Well, this being Sam Dyson's 6th game, high ERA. Why? Well, he's allowed 4 runs in 4 1/3 innings of work in 5 appearances this season. Lefties are batting .833. That's a 5 for 6 against him. Righty's only 200 though, 3 for 15. So time for the Padres to at least get that 1 run back that the Giants scored in their top half of the 7th inning.
Now Franchy Cordero is going to be the first hitter that he deals with here in the last of the 7th inning. Franchy 0 for 3, the top spot on the Padres order tonight. He has struck out, grounded out, and grounded into a fielder's choice. Dyson taking over for Pierce Johnson, who came in, did a very good job after Ty Block had given up a couple of runs. He quieted things down by getting Hedges to fly out. He struck out a Suaje and Ross to end the 6th inning. Here's a fly ball headed out towards deep right field. McCutchen going back at the wall, and that ball is gone. A home run. Franchi Cordero hits his 2nd home run of the year, and the Padres take a 5-1 lead. They got their 4-run lead back.
This kid is some kind of strong. Franchi leans, gets in, gets out. A 1-0 fastball on the inner part of the plate. Gets his hands through quickly. Franchi going to the Adirondack seats. That's some hitting right there.
5-1. Padres on top, and here's Jose Perella. Perella 1 for 3, a single and an RBI back in the 5th inning. Dyson did a lot of the closing last year, 14 saves. Grass cutter out to short, and Brandon Crawford's throw in time to get Perella. First out here at the bottom of the 7th inning.
A nice sign tonight, Don. The Padres have scored 3 straight innings. 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, now the home run.
Took a while to get it going, but now they have.
Yeah.
Eric Hosmer looking to be part of the fun here. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game tonight, rounding out 3 times. A shift on him here in the infield on the right side. In the air, foul off to the left, out of play. And Renfroe waiting on deck. Padres batting here in the home half of the 7th inning. They've added another run on a leadoff home run by Franchi Cordero. Sam Dyson charged with a run since coming into this game. Outside for ball 2. Time block started, went 5 innings, giving up 4 runs on 7 hits. Walking 3 Ks. Pierce Johnson an inning, striking out 2, and now Sam Dyson. There's a grounder towards second, and Joe Panik. Hosmer grounding out for the 4th time in this ball game. 2 down here in the 7th. And that'll bring it Hunter Renfroe. Hunter with a double his last time up. He'd come around to score the 3rd Padres run of the night.
You know, up to this point in the ball game, Don, since it is superhero night, I think my superhero of choice is Tyson Ross.
Absolutely.
Padres needed him to do that, right?
Absolutely needed to go deep in the game and pitch well on a day that they announced that Tommy John surgery is going to be happening to Nelson Lamet, a guy who they're relying heavily on in the rotation. And Tyson Ross steps up in a big way tonight. So is the offense. Unfortunately, the season over for Nelson Lamet. Two and 2. Renfroe strikes out, and that will end the 7th inning. Padres had a run on the home run by Franchy Cordero, taking it out to right center field, giving the Padres their 4-run lead back. San Diego on top of San Francisco, 5-1.
Over the San Francisco Giants. When we see on Padres Live the postgame show, which will be brought to you by Cox Communications, we're going to hear from Andy Green. His thoughts on what was a wonderful night and outing for Tyson Ross. Got some offense as well. We'll get you set for the 3rd game with Clayton Richard on the mound, and we'll look forward to seeing you after the final out. Don, Mark?
All right, Mike, thanks very much. We look forward to that as Craig Stammen returns to the mound here for the 8th. At least to start it anyway. He's dealing with Buster Posey. 0 for 3 in the ball game tonight. The 2 pitch coming to Posey. And that's away. Try to get him to chase 1 and 2.
Craig is really good at that 2-seam fastball away to the righties to bring it back over the outside part of the plate, outside corner.
Posey came into this game with a 10-game hitting streak and so far 0 for 3 and batting here in the 8th. And a grounder up the middle. Galvis will move over and goes out Posey. 1 down in the 8th inning.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
1 down in the 8th, and it brings up Evan Longoria. 0 for 3 night tonight for the Giants' 3rd baseman, who has struck out twice and flat out to the warning track in left field. Jose Perella making the catch out there on the track. He's swinging for the downs there. Brandon Crawford waiting on deck as the Giants bat here in the 8th. 0-2. Crawford, who waits on decks, had a big night for the Giants, leading them with 3 hits in the ball game. Strike 3 call. Longoria spins out of the box, takes with him the 2nd strikeout for Craig Stammen. 2 down in the 8th.
There's that 2-seam fastball that comes back off the corner of the plate. He gets the call. Baby, come back. Then he gets Longoria looking.
2 down in the 8th, and Brandon Crawford coming up.
Looked like he got a call on that one.
Yes, he did. Mentioned the 3 hits for Crawford, all singles. 1 to center, 2 to right. As he looks at strike 1.
You know, I have to comment on your outfit tonight. You look very dapper tonight. Very maitre d'-like. I expect you to have like 3 or 4 menus in your hand and like lead me to my table.
How many in your party? I was thinking about your watching Goodfellas the other night, and I think.
Will you be having wine with your dinner?
I don't know. I don't see it. I mean, I don't know.
You look very nice.
Thank you. Left center field. Moving over from left is Perella to make the catch. A 1-2-3-8 for Craig Stam into the bottom of the 8th. 5-1 Padres. Last half of the 8th inning. We're going to add on. Both teams with 8 hits in the game. The teams have made an error. Giants have left 8. Padres have left 5. And Christian Villanueva, Freddie Galvis, and Austin Hedges expected here to bat in the inning. Sam Dyson back out there, and he hits Villanueva with the first pitch of the inning. A fastball from Dyson.
Posey set up inside. It is a 2-seamer.
Galvis has struck out, grounded into a fielder's choice, singled, and driven in a run. That's from the left side against the right-hander, and skies one towards left center. Hunter Pence has room, and the left fielder makes the catch out there in front of the warning track, and back to first goes Villanueva. Let's revisit our keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Solid 6+ from Ross. 6+ for Ross. 7 hits, 1 run not earned. Walked 1 and struck out 5, and no free outs. 1 error leads to 1 unearned run, and when you look at the totals, 5-1 Padres up to this point.
1 on, 1 out, and Austin Hedges 1 for 3 night for the Padres catcher. The ground one towards third base. Longoria with a bobble, and everybody's going to be safe. A throw to second base, and a nice pick there by Joe Panik, second baseman, kept that from center field. Charge an error on the play on Evan Longoria.
Yeah, I think Evan Longoria would be the first one to say, you know what, I've got to make that play. He rounded it perfectly, played out in front. He had it in his glove, it looked like, and then came out, and then couldn't find the handle.
Panik with a great pick. Kept that from center field. So one out, first and second, and Carlos Aswaje.
That's a big run out there at second base.
And there for strike one to Aswaje.
You want to get out of slam range, right? We say that all the time.
Two on, one away. Ball and a strike. Spangenberg has come out on deck. He would pinch hit in the pitcher's spot. We have one out right now here in the last of the eighth. Kida getting ready in the pen. Not a save situation right now, so no Brad Hand. Fly ball to center field. Blanco back and under to make the catch for out number two. Tagging and moving to third base nicely is Christian Villanueva. Deep enough that he thought he could get there. Driving Blanco back in center field, and Villanueva moves over to third, 90 feet away.
A good recognition by the base runner. That ball is popped up. You see the center fielder on the first base side of second base. He's going away from the infield, right? Tag up, take 90 feet. Pass ball, wild pitch. It's a big run out there.
First and third, two down. For Spangenberg, pinch hitting here. And Craig Stammen's spot. And Grant, what a great job Craig Stammen did. Ends up going 2 innings of relief. Showing bunt is Spangenberg. Grabbed the attention of Longoria racing in from third, but take a pitch for ball one. Craig Stammen came in through 16 pitches, 14 for strikes. And his 2 innings of work allowed just the 1 hit. No runs. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 2.
Mr. Reliable.
Ground ball softly towards Panik at second. He flips glove to glove and in time to get Corey Spangenberg and to end the inning. We head to the 9th inning at Petco Park with the Padres on top 5-1. .09 earned run average matched up against the Padres opening day starter Clayton Richard, 1-1 with a 5.29 ERA. We'll get you started at 5 p.m. here on Fox Sports San Diego. Now the Padres trying to secure game 2 of this series with a 5-1 advantage heading to the 9th inning. And the new pitcher, Kazuhisa Makita, into the game.
Makita-san here in the 9th. Well, this guy's fun to watch. His 6th game, great ERA. Lefties and righties, lefties hitless, righties 182. Coming from down under, the 80-mile-an-hour cheese. What was that one at?
Didn't register.
Didn't register.
Matt Caesar comes into the game in right field. Strike 2. That was 81. That's the gas.
That's the gas coming at you.
Line foul down the right field line, out of play. It's been a quiet night for Hunter Pence. Struck out in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th, got it into a fielder's choice in the 6th inning. Swing and a miss, and Pence strikes out to open up the 9th inning. Good start for Makita. 1 down.
Hiding the ball, pitching uphill, up and in to be exact, and Pence the first out here in the 9th. Boy, when he pitches up in the zone, man, it's tough to lay off.
1 down in the 9th, and it brings up Gregor Blanco. 1 for 3. Blanco with an infield hit in the 7th and scored a run. Line to left, and that's in for a base hit. Blanco aboard with his 2nd hit of the night, a 1-out single here in the 9th inning. Pinch hitter coming up here for the Giants, Kelby Tomlinson. A pinch hit. This is the pitcher spot. Three for 13. Into his 10th game of the year. Andy Green, of course, did not use Makita against National League West teams during spring training. One of the first time for them to see Makita in games that count.
Yeah, that's a smart move when you think about it.
Under the glove, but knocking it down to Suaje. Galvis should go get it, but it's a base hit. And Tomlinson with a pinch hit single here. All of a sudden, the Giants have runners at 1st and 2nd with 1 down. And here comes Andy Green.
Well, Makita got his ground ball, just happened to find off the glove of a Suaje. Cannot come up with it. Galvis was covering.
Now the pitching change here for Andy Green with the Padres on top 5-1 in the 9th. Have 2 on with 1 away, and the Padres bring on the closer, Brad Hand.
And with the Giants top of the order now, 2 lefties do up Panic and Belt, both left-handers. This being an opportunity for Brad Hand. The tying run is on deck. Lefties are hitless, 0 for 9 off the lefty Hand.
Giants 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Outside for ball 1. Joe Panic been aboard 3 times in this game after lining out to third base in the first. Hit by a pitch in the third, singles in the 5th and 7th. And in his career against Brad Hand, not much success, 1 for 12 against the Padres' left-handed closer.
He's grounded into 2 double plays this early on in the season. Tied for most on the Giants.
The tying run on deck. This becomes a save situation. And Belt is on deck with 1 down in the 9th inning. Line and caught by Galvis. No, he'll touch second and throw to first. Caught it on a hop and turns it into a DP that ends this game. 6-3 on the double play. And Brad Hand will pick up the save as the Padres pick up the win in game 2.
That's the way they drew it up.
Now the Padres win it. Once again, our final score, Padres 5, the Giants 1. Padres Live is next. Mike Pomerantz, what's in store?
Well, Donnie, we're going to break down Tyson Ross's night. It was fantastic.